For example, that would be the Embassy Ballroom where the library is currently located, and that's where Robert F. Kennedy gave his last speech in June of 1968.
The Ambassador Hotel, June 5, 1968. Sirhan shot Bobby Kennedy as he walked through the kitchen at the hotel. Now, the site has been transformed into a school.
6 independent pilot schools, but we all have the same mission in terms of social justice and really informing our students of the issues that they're going to encounter as they grow up in a diverse community such as Los Angeles.
Dr. Chuck Flores is the principal at New World Academy, which is a K-12 program at the Rfk School Complex.
We're really looking at preparing our students for college and the university, and there's a lot of challenges. The educational system, we talk about maybe it's broken, it's not working, it's failing our students, but we've really hired top-notch teachers to really inform our vision and propel us forward in terms of what we want to do with our students.
It's good that they built a school there, and there was a long battle over the last decade between supporters of building the school and historical preservationists. And LA Unified was on the right side of that battle, and so in my mind they get credit for it because it is one of the most densely populated and overcrowded areas for low-income kids in Los Angeles. So they do deserve credit on that front.
Ben Austin is the executive director of the Parent Revolution in Los Angeles. While he supports building the school, he can't believe the final price tag. $578 million.
Where they obviously don't deserve credit is for building a school that cost $500 million. If you compare the price tag of that school for every seat, it costs 3 or 4 times more than what it should have cost compared to some very nice schools built by high-performing charter schools in Los Angeles.
It's a state-of-the-art facility, and it's the 3rd school that the LA Unified has spent hundreds of millions to build.
This school, unfortunately, is going to be failing from the day it opens the doors, just like all the other Taj Mahals all around Los Angeles, where we have beautiful new buildings opening up, failing from the day they open the doors because they're not designed to succeed. They're designed to serve grown-ups and not kids, and the only way we're going to change things is to give parents power, and that's what we're working on.
Some of the things $578 million bought: computers, library, a pool, and a nice gym. It also purchased artwork and a flat-screen TV that's embedded in the walkway leading to the library.
Granted, I mean, it's an exorbitant amount, but if you see what we offer to our kids in terms of the facilities, the pool, for example, that we have for our kids, it's going to be serving the entire community, the theater for our productions for graduation. It's something much needed and much deserved for our students. It's an enormous amount of money, but I believe it's well spent.
The Ambassador Hotel was also known as the home to the Coconut Grove nightclub, which has been converted into a 500-seat auditorium for the school. While history is being preserved, it added to the bottom line.
Some of the research out there, in fact, in terms of what you're providing to kids in addition to instruction, you know, emotional support, mental support, those types of things, social type of networking, let's say, in the sense that they're getting to know their peers, they're becoming comfortable with themselves. We're providing all of that. We have awesome classes in art instruction. We have an awesome computer lab for the kids. I think it's going to inform, in fact, I'm pretty confident that it will inform their instruction, but their ability to be successful on it.
Part of the project includes a public park, complete with talking benches. The city maintains the park, but some say when voters approved a bond to build new schools, this was not what they had in mind.
In Los Angeles, we have a $26 billion school construction program. It's the biggest public works program in the history of America, bigger than the Big Dig. It is incredible. You can't drive a few blocks in Los Angeles without seeing a brand new, beautiful school being built. So these schools are too expensive. Let's stipulate that. But if these schools were too expensive and they were opening up and they were serving kids in innovative, cutting-edge, kids-first, effectuating a kids-first agenda, we could get behind that, but it's just not the case. And so, all of these kids are going to go to this shiny new school and they're not going to get the education they deserve. And that is a shame.
And just months before the Rfk School Complex opened, LA Unified District laid off thousands of workers. Many were teachers.
That is a very, let's say, I don't want to say a sore, but a very sensitive spot, the fact that a number of teachers were laid off and that we've got this huge complex going up. But again, there's separate pots of money we're talking about. And I know that we're looking at another dismal year in terms of funding for LA Unified. We just had our superintendent, Ramon Cortina, speak about that, the deficit that we're going to be facing over the next year. But it's unfortunate, and again, it's bond money that was provided to build these schools.
Separate funds or not, Austin says the school stands as a symbol of a system that's not designed to serve kids.
The problem, unfortunately, just doesn't stop there. The real problem is that this school is being run by the same people who brought us a 50% dropout rate in Los Angeles and who are responsible for 90% of our kids not going to college.
But Dr. Flores says things won't be business as usual.
We have, for example, autonomy over our budget. So we have a per pupil spending model which isn't based on norms. So if I feel I need to hire that extra teacher to really impact our classrooms, I can do that. We're solely responsible for our instruction and curriculum. So being a collaborative type of school, as are the other 6 schools, our teachers really have a say in informing their instructional practices and what they want to do in the classroom. We have models that we follow, but that's a big key piece as well. Staffing, we were able to hire the teachers we felt would be the best for our students in this community. So it wasn't a situation whereby we had must-place teachers.
But according to Austin, if that were true, the district would have taken help from the Kennedy family.
The Kennedy family was very interested in making sure that it was run in an innovative kids first way, whether it was a district school or a charter school, and I can tell you from firsthand experience the district had no interest in changing the way things operate. They seem to be quite invested in the status quo.
Many of the children who attend classes here were being bused 2 to 3 hours to school. Now many of them can walk, but at what cost and who's to blame? The answer might surprise you. Why was this so expensive to build?
I don't know if you know the history, but initially this site was purchased by Donald Trump to build a world-class hotel. Different organizations, different factions got together, including the Robert F. Kennedy family. Paul Schrade, who was a labor leader that stood side by side with Robert F. Kennedy the night that he was shot. But a number of people came together, including the Alliance for Better Community, which works pretty closely with our parents and our teachers. But the money spent really had to do with the real estate, for example, the fact that we're trying to provide the best type of complex for our students. And I'll tell you, I mean, I believe it's money well spent.
Could it have been done cheaper?
Probably so, but again, maybe replicating things we've done in the past, adding additional bungalows, overcrowding. I don't think it's fair that our students have to suffer and try to learn in those types of conditions. And I've been in those schools. I've been at a school that had 5,000 students, 3 different tracks. Los Angeles High School, where I was an assistant principal, had that same model, where kids were here for a certain period of time, they went off on vacation, another group of kids came back. So in terms of continuity and effective learning, it doesn't work.
But groups like the Parent Revolution say for $578 million, the district better get this right for the sake of the kids.
Parents get one chance to give their kids the education they need in the future they deserve, and while a couple of years may not be a big deal for a bureaucrat working in a central office to think about a pilot program or to come up with some sort of half measure to placate people, a couple of years can literally be the difference in a child's life, whether they go to college or prison.
In Los Angeles, Teresa Rashid, EAG TV.